This plugin is amazing. It's called Inflator by Sonnox. I don't know if you guys heard of this. If you haven't, it's kind of expensive, and I'm usually not a person to like recommend plugins and stuff because I think you can get 95% of the way there with like stock plugins and maybe a few fun tools, but this one was one of those weird plugins that I couldn't really find a replacement. But man, it can make your music sound huge and big and full and fat and not sound compressed. It's pretty remarkable. But there's some tricks. So if you haven't read the manual for this thing, you probably should do that because they have a lot of weird things that where they tell you how to dial it in, but it's like backwards from how I would imagine anybody would ever dial something in. So what do I mean by that? This is how they tell us to dial it in. They tell you to take off the clip. They tell you to turn this input up until it starts clipping. Occasionally clipping, okay? So we can see that the acoustic is hitting, we get a few overs. This is probably a good spot, okay? Now, this is gonna blow your mind. Now what they say is, okay, now that you are clipping the plugin, which to me, that's not a good idea, you put the clip to 0 dB button, then you turn the effect to 100, and then you turn the curve down, and they tell you to ride the curve up to the desired level of volume. That sounds nuts, right? But it works pretty cool. Check it out. All of the good times, baby. See how loud it's getting? But let me tell you what's happening. It's starting to get crunchy, right? It's starting to get, you can start hearing that there's this distortion or this, like there's too much saturation going on. But the cool thing is it feels like you're now like in the room with the band, right? Right? This is how it was. Starting to break up. Now it's just kind of distorted. But man, is it loud, right? So again, we find a happy medium. So let me just listen, kind of. So this is too much in my opinion. Right around here. This kind of feels right to me, right around this. We got to really listen to that kick drum because that's what's going to distort first, right? So we got to listen to that. If it starts getting crunchy when that kick drum hits, we either have to reduce the bass in an earlier step or pull this back. Greedy for your attention. Cool. All right. So there you go. Everything feels wrong. Like I feel like I need to take like a shower after I like do it that way. But yeah, no, it kind of works. And if that's weird, if you're not getting the right sound, then just don't even listen to me and just put it back to how you normally would do it, probably by setting this to 0, the curve to 0, and then just dialing the effect percentage up, just how I did it before. It's cool, but it's a little bit different. But this is the way that they tell you to do it. And that's a nice way to really dial in the volume without it sounding compressed.
The beat and the feet, the feeling. My confidence is straight to the ceiling, so you can say that. You said he couldn't take the cold nights. You close when it talks, you take off. We'll leave the greatest when we